Hello everybody, welcome to Flash Feud Weekend. We already finished with our first round of feuding, and let's just take a second to look and see what it is we're chasing. Now, I like this weekend. The reason is we always get a bad or very specific feud wall for Flash Feud. That is when the game itself tells us get shards. I don't like that because what if you have all these characters and you get nothing from a prize wall? Whoever designs the Flash Feud Weekend prize wall just sucks at their job. I'm going to say that flat out. They are just, yeah. Anyways, moving forward outside of that, I want to encourage you to get this box because not every Flash Feud do we have an opportunity to get this box. Last one, it was a chase for Naomi, and you see a huge difference. They try to get rid of this box every other MLC, and it pisses off the free-to-play community. Why? Because it's obtainable by the free-to-play community. I want you to feud until you get this damn box. How do you do that? There's a certain amount of points that you have to get from every round of Flash Feuds. It's not a whole lot. It's maybe 30 minutes worth of gaming, honestly. So that's 2 hours for the whole weekend, roughly. Get this box. Why is this box so important? Because it has S plus shard at 300. 300 shards for any of these top tier. There's only one bad card in here, I think. Yeah, Solo. Solo's the only bad card in there. Outside of that, it's a fantastic box. And then there's some really good plates. There's some really bad plates, but there's some really good plates in here, including 8th anniversaries. This is where I have actually gotten a good chunk of my 8th anniversaries, including my Starfield. I think I got a Chemical X from here, and then maybe my Bloodsucker. That whenever I pull this box, this is mostly what I tend to get. But you see, you have a big opportunity at the Kelly butt plug. You could get the ring royalty. I love that ring royalty plate. I've got two of them. Very good plate to have. I think last time. No, I got the Viscera plate from the regular feud boxes, and then I have more than enough of the Ministry of Business. Of course, you could end up with the worst luck and end up with a Fearless Stare or a Dom plate. Those are probably the two worst, but there's really some good plates in here. Let's make sure we focus on that Piper's, green Piper plate. How game-changing would that be for your roster? 30 minutes spread over 4 events. Let's get it done. Okay, that is completely free, right? There's nothing you have to do besides just feud to get to. Moving on to the actual wall itself, again, the game has dictated what we are to get from this wall because they've put things so out of price that you can't even consider it. Now, I'm going to be very honest. 25 for a 6-star bronze Solo. He flat out sucks. It's I don't know how else to put it. Zoro's got a video of him with a Piper plate and a green or purple Rumble doing like 100 million. Keep in mind he also has in that video tier 6 medals, so he's hitting harder than what it would. It takes 10 MP to do it, so your MP down people are going to screw you every time with doing it. This is probably... It's a free card. I get it. But he's just... At the end of the day, this is his best use, right, for the trash. These are high dollar. This up here is just stupid. That's way too much money for an old card. Austin's still a very, very strong powerhouse in the game. That is just way too much money. If you are spending that amount of money, you're getting the gear. Austin's not going to be your top. You're probably using Zombie Punk with gear, or something along those lines. Viscera. There's so many options now for Powerhouse that this is no longer the move. Although very strong, it's just a stupid amount of money for that poster. All right, moving on to the next row. These are fine. These are going to be around your call it $100 spend area. You have to just make sure that you're getting the best offer. Those are fine. This is for lower rosters, so good for lower. Both of these. If you're still in the building phase, and we're all building, right? But if you're newer to the game or you decided to be more active as of now, or you came back from a break, whatever the case may be, these gears, you have to have the posters, obviously, for them to make the difference. But they can actually really benefit your roster. If you're an in-game user, chances are, Tech Punk is no longer your go-to because of the Cascade risk, right? That had to do with everything. He's stupid strong, just like Miz. The Cascade risk is what killed him, though. All right, past that. We're going to focus on these two gears, and then we'll move on to the two plates. Actually, you know what? We will keep this rolling the way that we did. We'll break down all four. Absolutely no. He's trash. He was never good. He was only good for a small portion of the community that had drip plates. Okay? That's it. If you had a drip, you like Kaiser. If you didn't have a drip, he was never good for you. There was one point I was interested because Techs were struggling, but then Miz came out shortly after. So, absolutely nope. I don't care if you have the other gear and you're like, oh, well, this makes the set. Nope. We'll even add another X on top of those. Nope. The Seth gear. I feel like he was on the prize wall last MLC. This is fine, but he has to be your top acro to even consider. I'm not overly thrilled about that gear at that price range. It's just, I feel you have a better shot getting this in Armory. And that's where I would focus on getting that, not here off the feud wall. Rainbow reinforcement, absolutely not. Do not pass go. Yes, I understand 30. You might end up with 30, and that's fine. This, I think, is too expensive on this prize wall. This is for the butt plug that, in all honesty, after last MLC. All right, so again, this is a very niche ultimate plate, very strong, but I just feel like it's a little overpriced and they overvalue its usefulness in the game. You've got three characters that it is good on. They have other move sets. It's not, well, Kelly. So honestly, if you have one, you have enough. But they've been offering it a little too much. It's kind of getting to the point where it's like, dude, we're past that. Give us some other options. These we do not buy. Okay, both of these, big X right across the top. If you have extra, get your little fives, sure, but you should be getting plenty of extra hangers from your victory tours, from your say you're not getting to the victory tours, you should be getting those from your armory loot from dupe moments. You could also get those from the daily. So hang on, it's not as much, but if you look in this shop, you've got gear hanger. Okay, there's not a whole lot to buy in this shop outside of your IOW and boss tokens. If you have all your steps, these are the These are the most important here. Okay. But if you got these, there's not a whole lot past that besides your IOW tokens. So you can buy these hangers. The loot is in the regular loot column in here. And then once you start getting dupes, you start getting hangers themselves. So this right here. Oh, they changed the look of it. No, this is armory. Excuse me. This right here. Okay, you end up getting hangers and replace for that. So that is why we do not want to just grab a bunch of those hangers. Moving on. Oh, this wall. The straps, also big X. Across the whole damn thing. We don't want character specific straps. Now, this is where the value is. Where's the value? Here's the value. Shards. All good opportunities for shards. There are 500 Kelly shards on the month-long prize wall. There are 225 here. This should be at a free to play level. I think these all are free to play. And I'm not sure where we transition. I'm hoping that these might require maxing. Max feud. And possibly even like a top 500. And we'll show what that looks like here in just a second. But these in the middle here, I think are free to play. Actually, I know that the Kelly ones are free to play. And I know that because I'm already at 18 and it's after the first few. Alright. So again, we're on our next level of shards. Some really good offers here. I like all of them besides Kofi, honestly. I'm not even going to say one is necessarily better than the other. If one recruits for you, that's what you get. If not, you say, all right, who am I closest to? And then you start pulling from there. We're getting into our next little column. And for this column, we want to just go across there and say no. Even if it recruits you for them, they are not going to be meta relevant. Of course, any opportunity to recruit her, we take it. We can get 10 for, spend 10 for 500 if that recruits her for you. Definitely do it. I have a feeling this might be the last time we see Roxanne for a little while. She was back because it's NXT month, right? And she's been on every prize wall. Hopefully you've been collecting her shards. Past that, also a big X on Sammy. But there's nothing past that, right? You get what you need of your resources once you've already spent on your prize wall. Okay. Not a bad wall, but it is definitely geared toward the shards and push toward the shards versus this stuff up here, which is your spin level. And again, that reinforced plate costs way too damn much to even be considered. It's a cheap throwaway plate that they ended up not making strong enough. That is not our focus at all. So, in review, play enough to get this box, please. It's worth it. You know, What's the point of feuding if you're not at least going to get that? All right, gang. Later.